So, first off, I will say that I have unabashedly made this save from scratch.
Yes. For whatever reason, I couldn't get this to work through Fraps like I was planning on.
Yeah, this is like going to be the third time we've beaten it.
Not that I mind. I mean, this is a good game. And actually, that's a pretty good segue.
So shortly after we beat it is when they announced that they were going to remake it. So you've got that along with Monster Boy.
Yeah, and honestly, I am personally very excited for both. Monster Boy, it's looked awesome from the beginning. I've loved this game, and the graphic remake, it just looks awesome.
That's okay. There's the pause.
Yeah. And
like I say, I unabashedly made this from scratch because
now it's just, let's beat this again.
Yeah. Well, yet again. I like it, but especially since today's actually been a very busy day. In an unusual turn, we're starting recording sometime around 1 a.m. because I've been getting ready for a trip all day.
Yeah. Oh, and one thing I do need to...
I'm going to Alaska.
Yes, you are. You're going on a big boat. One thing I do need to bring up about this kind of recording, I mean, it's been obvious the entire time. The audio is not syncing up properly. I mean, what I'm putting up is just what I directly record. And I can't screw with the audio too much without desyncing what we're saying. But I just can't sync up the actions and the sound to go with it. Can you see okay?
Yeah, I can see alright. It seems to just be like a default problem with the device we're using. If anyone has any fixes for, what's it called, a hapoj?
Yeah.
Then that would certainly be handy.
Yeah, and another thing to bring up, emulators that work with
Fraps?
Yeah, that work with Fraps would be great. I thought I found one, but it just was not working.
You know, we could play this on the old Master System. I do have the cartridge. We featured it in the opening.
Yeah, but the question is, how the heck do we hook that up to the hapoj?
That is a good question.
I mean, we would need a coaxial converter.
Actually, no, not necessarily. Remember, I got the stuff to have the Master System do AV out.
You did?
Yeah, remember?
No. Clearly not. But
it's the same basic way we got the NES hooked up, and it's also, at this point, the only way that any of my systems can get hooked up to my current TV.
Yeah. But Nintendo's generally been ahead of the game on a few things. So I'm not too surprised we managed to get the...
Well, no, they've been behind for a very long time. It's early on.
Yeah.
Actually, even early on, the reason that our parents got us a Master System instead of an NES is the Master System was a, computationally superior machine to the NES.
Yeah, well, our dad's an engineer.
A software engineer.
Yeah, a software engineer. So he looked at the specs and what it could do and thought, oh yeah, that's definitely better.
And to be fair, this is the days before gaming was a big thing.
Yeah. I mean, up until the Master System, it was No, we didn't even have a Commodore. We just had...
Nor did we have an Atari 2600.
We had MS-DOS.
We had MS-DOS in arcades.
Yes. There is that...
Arcades had not yet died.
Yep. There is that one game we'll have to play that scared you when you were like 2.
Speaking of arcades, ooh, nice. Speaking of arcades.
Okay. Speaking of,
you know how Dad just built a theater in his basement? I want to build an arcade in mine someday.
Someday when you have a basement, because right now basement means your neighbor's apartment.
Yeah, well, I'm sure they wouldn't mind if we just started digging down.
Can't do it like Minecraft. Which, by the way, I'm kind of tempted to... Yeah, you're getting spanked here. I'm kind of tempted to feature some of the crap I've done in Minecraft just to see if some people are interested in it. Both in creative and survival.
I don't know if we'll get through the Vampire Dragon tonight, but we'll at least get through the Shogun Dragon.
Yeah.
By the way, you guys have probably noticed that I'm not dying despite all the damage I'm taking. I'm not cheating, it's actually the combination, for those who have never played it before, the combination of the Heavenly Shield and the Hades armor actually make you immortal.
Do you think they'll carry that over in the remake?
I doubt it.
Yeah. That would be awesome. Because that was one of the coolest exploits, I remember.
So the best armor in the game is... So the best armor in the game is not actually the best armor in the game. Precisely.
Because while it lets you take more damage, this one lets you take infinite damage. Smack those bitch balls.
Now for me, I've got to try to talk the guys into letting me play D&D the day I come back.
Yeah.
Because they're like, no, you gotta rest. A trip like this takes some winding down afterwards. I'm like,
not so much.
That is winding down for me.
Good point. I mean, you and me find rest in creative things. I generally write, and you work on D&D.
At least starting the week that I'm back, we'll have less than a month. We gotta prepare our horror meat.
Okay. Well, we've been working on the idea for a while.
Yes, we just need to actually put it together. Which also probably means to get in the mood we're going to have to play Slender again.
Yay.
Don't know if we'll record it, but we'll have to play Slender again.
Yeah. And, I'll have to have you play some of the other horror games, maybe some RPG horror, maybe some pixelated horror. I mean, the...
Pixelated horrors!
No, we're not playing Duke Nukem.
Actually, I was going to say, that one game we tried with the douche, Leisure Suit Larry.
Oh, well, yeah, we can play that one. I realize playing that one, I'm going to have to cut through a lot of it because I like clicking around, and there's one scene that's awesome because Larry is literally interacting with himself.
I'm pretty sure that's all he ever does.
Well, I know. I mean, like, literally his older self. Who is just as pathetic as he is.
Go through the door!
Apparently there was, like, a Leisure Suit Larry 7 that was put on the PlayStation or something. I'm not sold on that one.
See, I've never actually played any of them, but you just said pixelated horrors and...
Oh, yeah.
Pixelated titties and...
But, yeah.
And Cards Against Humanity pixelated bukkake.
But yeah, Oh, you're already to the Shogun, I forgot.
Speaking of which, I'm going to have to get some clown bukkake sometime.
I am terrified to ask what that would be.
Silly string.
Oh, okay. You might get through the Vampire Dragon tonight. This hasn't even...
I accidentally paused.
Oh, okay, I was thinking, that's fucking lag.
They made the pause button the X button instead of the start button.
Sorry. I think I'm the one who did the key allocations.
Yeah, it was the emulator, not the game, because for the Master System, it was kind of a pain in the ass. The pause button was on the physical system, not the controller.
Birdman!
I'm a bird. Harvey Birdman.
Attorney at law.
Attorney at lulls. Yeah, I probably will get through the bird through the game tonight. I'm sorry it's kind of boring in that I'm being invincible, but
at this point you are effectively invincible anyway.
Yeah, well, because of the armor combination and so forth.
Yeah.
But
see, Hades armor, but you're wearing it.
But I know it's slightly boring that I'm doing this, and for that I apologize.
But also remember just how many times we kept dying to the dragons.
Well, also, and then furthermore, remember, how many keys do I have? 1.
Oh,
okay.
Do you really need more than 1?
Not at the moment. I just needed to make sure, because I do need 1.
Yeah.
There's also the fact that we've beaten this twice already, and for some reason it has never recorded properly. There's also the fact that it's 1 a.m. and I'm actually due at the airport in a few hours.
Yeah. So kind of a warning to other people, if I do run out of the general queue, I'm probably going to wind up doing some Dark Souls by myself.
That being said, we've got so much Legend of Zelda backed up that...
True, but there are openings you want to do for some of the later ones.
True. Breath.